Hi everyone and welcome back. Aaron Finkelberg here with the Kendall Electric Automation team. I'm here to conclude our two-part series for Introduction to Motion using Rockwell Automation products. If you recall in our first video, we were able to create a program from scratch and download to the controller and provide successful communications between the processor and the servo drive. Now today we'll take a look at some motion direct commands and get the motor to actually spin. Let's go check it out. So let's go ahead and launch our motion direct command menu and also the properties. So again, I'm right clicking here on this axis. And there's a really nice tab in here for the overall status of the drive. So here you can see our feedback information. So one thing I like to do before I even tell the motor to run is just rotate it clockwise. You can see it's incrementing, that's good sign. And if I go backwards, it should go down closer to 0 here. So that looks good. So once I've established the feedback for the motor is wired correctly and things are agreeing with the software, we'll set this guy at its home spot. And we'll go ahead and issue a motion axis home command. And then watch the actual position. This should zero out at this point. If I execute it. Notice it does right there. Things are looking good there. Now the next thing we're going to do is turn the servo on. If you notice here, I can still manually rotate the motor by hand pretty easily. But now as soon as I enable it, motion servo on, execute, I can now hear an audible tone telling me it's got some power to it, as well as it's a pretty small motor so I can rotate it by hand, but again, it wants to hold position here, you notice. And if I wanted to do some tuning, I could probably tighten that up a lot more to give it some more power, but for our demo today, we won't mess with the tuning at all. So we've successfully homed it out. We've enabled the drive and the motor. Now let's go ahead and issue a motion axis move direct command. There's two forms of move types. There's an absolute and there's an incremental. Are probably the two basic ones. You can see there's other options here, but for our test today, we're just going to focus on these two. Today we'll look at the absolute mode first. So we see we're currently at 0. Let's go ahead and just do move to position 1. So 1 revolution clockwise, because it'll be a positive value. So we'll go 1. We'll go 1 rev a second, units per second, and we won't mess with the accel or decel. We'll leave those as default right now. And we'll just execute that and watch what happens. Excellent. So now you can see we're at a position of 1. Or close to it. Now let's say we want to go position 2. We put a 2 in here, execute that, and we go to 2. Now because we're in absolute mode, what happens if I execute this again? Do you think it'll rotate twice, or do you think it'll stay put? Let's just take a look. So if I execute that here, so we're already currently at a position of 2, so the motor in this case does not rotate. But now let's say we want to index it 2 more revs, so I can either put a value of 4 in here, or I can change this move type to incremental. And now that we have a position of 2, it's going to increment 2 revs above and beyond where we currently are. So it's kind of from where you are here right now. Now if we execute that, now we're at 4. Now let's say we want to reverse and move back home. We could go in here and do a -4 for a move as far as incremental. Or what I like to do is, since we've homed it out and we know absolutely where home is, we can say absolute move from wherever you're at and go back to 0. And notice it knows to go negative or reverse. And to shut the motor back off, just do an MSF, execute, and that's it. We've done our first successful motion application. We've got control of the motor, no problems with starting and stopping it, no issues, no faults. I'd say we did pretty good on our first try. Thank you for watching our video. If you would like more information on today's topic, please contact your Kendall Electric account manager or automation specialist. You can also visit our website at kendallelectric.com to find a location nearest you. Stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn. Thank you, and hope to see you on our next Kendall Quick Connection video. Have a great day.